I'm back. Tiffany here with Haute Moms Dinner Club. Today we're working on bin 22. We're going to start off bin 22 with a Scandinavian ham salad. Now I'm not really for sure about the history or origin of this Scandinavian ham salad other than it must have come from Scandinavia. But I've seen it on several occasions. It always has the same ingredients and it's always served in the pineapple. So that's the fun thing. It's a ham and pineapple salad with some cherry tomatoes, some celery, sour cream dressing. We're going to serve that with some sweet potato wedges and just a toasted hard roll. You could serve other types of bread with this. It would be good with croissants, pita bread, fried pita chips, or just a loaf of like the everything seasoned bread on that. You know, you've got lots of different breads you could choose from this, but you're going to be using whatever type of bread that you have. Left over in meal one is what we're going to use throughout the rest of the bin to go with the rest of the meals. So just make sure that you choose a bread that goes well with meal 3 and meal 4 in this bin. And then we're moving on to meal 2, which is a ground beef and tater tot casserole. So it's just your basic tater tot casserole. We're going to cook off some ground beef, mix it with some vegetables, some condensed soup. We're going to top it with some tater tots and bake it. It's going to bake for about 50 minutes. Then we're going to spread some shredded cheddar cheese on top and finish that off. It's a quick prep time, but there is a long bake time on this. So remember, on that night, just get your casserole in the oven as soon as you can, and then use that hour to catch up on any chores, help the kids with the homework, whatever you need to do while the casserole is baking. And then we have an optional side, just doing some of the fresh pineapple left over with some cottage cheese. So if you want to pick up some cottage cheese for this bin as well, you'll have a little side. That casserole is all-inclusive. I mean, it's got your beef, it's got your vegetables, it's got your cheese, it's got your carbohydrates from the tater tots. So you really don't need to have a side go with that. But because we have this fresh pineapple left over, I picked up some cottage cheese just so I have a nice little light side on the side of that casserole. Then we're going to move on to meal 3, which is going to be a baked ham with cheesy rice and spinach salad. We've got our ham that we've already diced up for the Scandinavian ham salad. Then we're going to take some thicker cut pieces and we're just going to bake those off for baked ham. I'm going to serve that with some cheesy rice and a spinach salad. We're doing this for meal 3 and putting meal 4 at the end because we're going to do a little bit of prep for meal 4. Just because your ham steaks are already going to be cut, all you have to do is just kind of work out that cheesy rice and just make that spinach salad. We're going to use some of those same vegetables that we're using in meal 3 are going to be used in meal 4. So while we're prepping our vegetables for meal 3, we're going to reserve the stuff that we need for meal 4 and already have that ready to go just to make meal 4 a little bit quicker, which is going to be delicious baked Italian pinwheels. So we're going to take a chicken spinach ricotta filling and we're going to cook off some lasagna noodles, and we're just going to roll that filling up in those lasagna noodles for baked Italian pinwheels. We're going to cover it with some Alfredo sauce and some cheese. So you'll have Italian baked pinwheels with some toasted bread and a spinach salad. So I think that covers our agenda for the day, so let's get cooking. So we're going to get started on our Scandinavian ham salad for meal 1. I'm going to start by getting our sweet potato wedges in the oven. So I've done these a couple times before, skin on. You know I don't like to peel things unless I have lots of time on my hands, which I never find that I do. Ironically enough, my daughter loves to eat these with the peel on. I eat the peel. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. My husband never does. But you'll find that the peel after they're baked comes off so easily. So why spend the time peeling them? We're going to get those quartered up into the wedges and we're going to get that in the oven. You can season these up however you want. I'm going to use dill since we're having dill in the ham salad. So I'm probably just going to put a little bit of dill, some celery seed, oil on these, and we'll get those in the oven. So we've got our sweet potato wedges in the oven. They're going to bake for about 25 to 30 minutes at 395. I usually turn the oven up a little bit more on those just to get them kind of crispy. While those are cooking, we're going to start working on our pineapple. So for the last 6 to 8 months, every time I've been at Walmart, they've had fresh pineapples for $2 or under. If you find that you can't find a fresh pineapple for that price, you can just buy canned pineapple, but I wanted to do this for the presentation and just kind of to make dinner a little bit more fun that night. If you're not familiar with fresh pineapple though, when you're going to choose a pineapple, things you want to look for are that the fronds are still kind of healthy and green looking. If they're browning or very, very dry, that could be a sign of old pineapples. And also you can just kind of pull on them, and if they pop off easily, that means that your pineapple is ripe. If you tug and tug, well, that one came off again easy. If you tug and they're not coming off easily, that means your pineapple is not very ripe. Also, just if it's feeling like a heavy pineapple, that means your fruit is ripe. It's full of a lot of juices. The ripe liquid in here is making your pineapple feel heavier. That's signs you want to look for. If you do go the fresh pineapple route, just make sure you're picking up a good one. I'm going to show you how to cut this pineapple, and then I'm just going to kind of throw the rest of the ingredients together into this Scandinavian ham salad. It's pretty self-explanatory. The recipe will be on the website. While I have the ham out, I'm going to cut the ham slices for meal 3. I'm going to go ahead and cut that, and you're also going to see that there's going to be a portion of this ham left over that you're going to have for ham sandwiches, or use some of the ham for like your breakfast, for your weekend breakfast, ham and eggs. Go ahead and cut meal 3's ham, and if you want to go ahead and cut whatever you're going to use the rest of the ham for as well while you got it out, while you're making the mess. We are going to be close to that $50 budget because of that, because your ham's probably going to cost around $10, okay? All right, so let's get started on this pineapple. I'll show you how to do that, and I'm going to start making the ham salad. The Scandinavian ham salad, served in the fun pineapple shell. What a nice, bright meal to come home to on a dull, dreary winter's day, with all the Caribbean, Hawaiian-type flair of this meal. Or if it happens to be summer when you do this, Ben, what a light, refreshing meal to have when you come home and the temps are soaring outside. Served here with the sweet potato wedges, and just a simple roll, since we're using the same bread in meals 3 and 4. But you can always substitute some fun breads with this meal if you feel like it. Meal 1, Scandinavian ham salad. So now we're moving on to meal 2. So this is our ground beef and tater tot bake. So we're going to start by cooking off a pound of ground beef. I'm going to cook that. I'm also going to strain off that excess grease. I'm going to cook off some diced onion in there with that as well, and also some garlic cloves, just because I have a couple of fresh garlic cloves. So I'm going to throw in some fresh garlic cloves. You can just throw in some garlic salt, some garlic powder if you want, or just omit it all together. Something I've been doing lately, because ground beef is about $3.50 a pound, up to $4 a pound. I've been hitting this $1.99 a pound sell when they have it. You have to buy a 5-pound or a 10-pound roll of it, but you can usually get the 5-pound for like $1.99 a pound, or the 10-pound for like $1.79. You can cut your price per pound down dramatically from the $3.50, $4 range to the $1.75 to $2 range a pound. However, you do have to buy the bigger amount and then portion it up, cut it into 1-pound portions so that you have, just a pound of ground beef in a Ziploc baggie just ready to go for spaghetti and meat sauce, beef and tater tot casserole, whatever you want to use it for. And then, like I said, that puts it in the $2 a pound range. So it does save you some money. You just have to make that initial investment. Also, I've talked to you before about the chicken breast. Buying the bulk chicken breast frozen. You have to remember to always thaw your chicken before you need it. Or else buying those big packs of chicken breast. You've seen that in, I believe, bin 1, the first bin. And then freezing what you don't use. So, it's always helpful to buy in bulk, but then you do have to make that initial investment, and you have to plan a little bit ahead to make sure that you have your product thawed. But so on this one, I actually had a pound of hamburger in the freezer, so I've got it thawed out. So I'll start by cooking the ground beef off. I'm going to throw in the diced onion and then the garlic. I'm going to deglaze it with a little bit of Worcestershire, and then I'm going to strain that out, and I'm going to get the rest of the stuff in a mixing bowl. I've got a pack of mixed vegetables here, just so you're getting some vegetables in this. It's a very hearty casserole, and we just got that little bit of pineapple and cottage cheese that we're going to serve on the side. So I did want to get some vegetables in that, just so that you can make it kind of almost a complete meal, just like that. Also, we're going to use a couple cans of condensed soup. You can just do straight cream of mushroom. I already had a can of the chicken. You could do 2 cream of mushrooms. You do 2 cream of chickens. You can even do cheddar cheese condensed soup. We're going to do cheddar cheese in tomorrow night's meal, the cheesy rice. So mix it up with 2 cans of condensed soup. I'm going to do 1 cream of chicken and 1 cream of mushroom for ours. We'll put in a little bit of sour cream as well, so we get a little bit of juiciness to this. You don't want it to be too dry, so this is going to help juice it up a little bit. And I'll season the hamburger as I'm cooking it up with some salt and pepper. So that was a 32-ounce bag of tater tots. I didn't quite use the whole bag. I'm going to get that in the oven to bake. I've got the oven on 350 degrees. We're going to bake it for 50 minutes. I'll probably pull it out after 40 and put that layer of shredded cheddar cheese on top, and then bake that 10 more minutes just to kind of get that cheese melted. You want to cook it for the 50 minutes total and at 350 degrees because you got to make sure that those frozen vegetables that you put in there and the frozen tater tots have completely cooled everything down. So you want to make sure that your frozen vegetables get cooked. Also, your tater tots are frozen. So you got to make sure that those get cooked too. Everything up to this was quick and easy. Now we just got to wait for this to get done. While it's baking, you can whip up your pineapple and cottage cheese side dish. So there is meal 2. This is our ground beef and tater tot bake, aka tater tot casserole. That looks dynamite. I'm sure it's low-cal, really. Don't you think? At any rate, it's going to be delicious. Like I said, this is an all-inclusive meal right here. It's got everything you need. But we did put some fresh pineapple and cottage cheese there on the side, just in case you wanted a little something to lighten it up. That casserole is very hearty and rich. Enjoy this, meal 2. Tater tot casserole, fresh pineapple, and cottage cheese. Here we go, meal 3. Okay, so this one is pretty easy. So you're going to start by cooking your rice. I cooked 1 cup of rice in 2 cups of water. You're going to get that kind of par cooked. While your rice is cooking, you can be prepping all your vegetables for the salad. And you're also going to prep some of those vegetables, like I said, for tomorrow night for the Italian Baked Pinwheels. So while your rice is cooking, you're going to get the vegetables ready to go. Then we're going to get this mixed up in with a can of cheddar cheese soup. We're going to mix that. We're going to throw in a little bit of shredded cheddar cheese as well. And then we'll get that in the oven to bake. Your rice obviously is already cooked, or at least close to fully cooked. So that's not going to take long. As soon as you get that rice in, get your skillet getting hot, you should have your ham already sliced up, and I'm going to cook it on one side in the hot skillet. Then I'm going to turn it over, toss it with the pineapple left over from meal 1, and then I'll throw it in the oven kind of to finish and bake a little bit. But I am going to start it on the hot skillet just so I get some nice marks on them. If you're just going to completely bake it, you'll probably actually want to put the ham in before your rice goes in the but if you cook it on the stove top first and then in the oven, it's only going to be like 5 minutes in the oven. All right, so let's get all this going. So I've got my rice par cooking, and I'm going to start cutting up the vegetables. I'm going to make a little spinach salad for this evening, and I'm also going to prep some of those vegetables for tomorrow night. Just the ones that are going in both the salad and tomorrow night's dinner. I'm not going to pull all the vegetables out for tomorrow, but I am going to do the spinach and the mushrooms and the celery for tomorrow night, so that's ready to go. And I'm going to make a salad with the spinach, the mushroom, and the celery, and also the little dab of cherry tomatoes that we had left over from meal 1. So I've got everything washed here. I got my celery, I got my mushrooms, and I've got my grape tomatoes washed here. Obviously I didn't wash the spinach. The spinach I'm just going to loosely pick and pop in here. For the pinwheels, I'll probably do a big chiffonade on that. So just kind of pick a bunch of these pieces and roll them up. Instead of a super small chiffonade, I'm just going to do a big bulky one for the pinwheels. For the lettuce, for the spinach salad though, there's going to be tossed in here, sliced on the mushrooms. For the celery, for the salad, I'm going to do in pieces like this. And for the pinwheels, I will dice that. And the cherry tomatoes I'm just going to have and put on top of the spinach salad. Meal 3, as our ode to the pineapple continues, we have our baked ham with the pineapple, our cheesy rice, and then the refreshing salad there. Another great meal. I did 1 cup of rice, and you could probably definitely get by with 3/4 of a cup of rice and a cup and a half of water, as opposed to the 1 cup of rice and the 2 cups of water that I did, because that's actually quite a bit of rice. I was just concerned about the amount of condensed soup, so I wanted to not have soup left over, but now I have a lot of rice. So either way you want to do that. But that baked ham looks delicious. I just seared it on the outside and then tossed the pineapple in. And while it baked, it just kind of made its own sauce from the liquid coming out of the pineapple and the ham. Meal 3, baked ham with cheesy rice and spinach salad. So we're going to start on meal 4. That's our baked Italian pinwheels. So we got a head start on that last night. But the first thing that you want to get going for this dish is to get your lasagna noodles cooking. So you need 1 lasagna noodle per pinwheel. So I did 2 pinwheels per person. So we've got our 12 to 16 ounces of chicken here, chicken breast or whatever you find. Just under a pound. You don't really need a whole pound. And I got it marinating in the olive oil with the Italian seasoning, a little bit of salt. We got our celery, mushroom, and spinach from last night. I'm just going to dice up the onion and some garlic cloves here. I'm going to put a couple of garlic cloves in, fresh garlic cloves. Again, it's optional. You know, you can always use dried garlic or just omit it. Once all this is cooked, to complete the filling, I'm going to add in the ricotta cheese, a little more Italian seasoning, and then I'm going to stuff the pinwheels. So after I get everything cooked, I'm going to roll it up into the lasagna noodles to create the pinwheels. And then we're going to cover it with Alfredo sauce and some Italian cheese, and we're going to bake the whole thing. So we got our filling made and we got our lasagna noodles par cooked. So we're going to start filling that up. I used to just kind of spread it all along here and then just roll these bad boys up. So I've got 4 noodles here, and then I'm going to do 4 more. So I'm going to try and put half the filling in these 4 and reserve the other half for the other. If you have extra filling, you can just kind of scatter it around in the casserole dishes. No big deal. But you do want to make sure that you reserve enough for the next 4 noodles, okay? We'll roll these very loosely so you don't push the stuff out, okay? Now I'm going to cover it with the Alfredo sauce. I just got a pre-made 4-cheese Alfredo, a little bit of Italian cheese, some Italian seasoning. As long as your noodles are pretty much cooked, 20-25 minutes is all you need to bake this for. While this is in the oven, I'm going to get a salad ready if I still need to get the salad ready, and some bread. There are Italian Baked Pinwheels. They just came out of the oven. Those look pretty darn good. Baked in the Alfredo sauce with the Italian cheese. You got chicken, spinach, mushroom, ricotta cheese filling there. And then we got a light salad to serve with that. You should have plenty of vegetables left over to mix up a salad. I had some bread left over from a previous bin. If you don't have anything left over, go ahead and use whatever bread you pick up for meal 1 will be your bread for this meal as well. So that's our Italian Baked Pinwheels. So here we have bin 22. So these are 4 delicious meals focusing on that 1 fresh pineapple that we bought. So we started off with that Scandinavian ham salad. Delicious. Served it in the fresh pineapple, and therefore we had lots of fresh pineapple from the other half of the pineapple. We served the Scandinavian ham salad with the sweet potato fries and the toasted hard rolls. Next, we moved into the Tater Tot Casserole. A ground beef and tater tot bake loaded up with mixed vegetables, ground beef, condensed soup, cheddar cheese, sour cream, topped with that crunchy layer of tater tots. We're going to serve that with some fresh pineapple and cottage cheese. Meal 3, we have the baked ham, and we did that, and we put some pineapple in that as well since we had it. We've got the cheesy rice and the spinach salad, fresh spinach salad there. And remember, when we were prepping meal 3, we got a jump start on meal 4 with some of the vegetable prep that we stuffed into these delicious Italian baked pinwheels. The baked pinwheels are stuffed with chicken, spinach, mushrooms, and ricotta cheese, topped with that Alfredo sauce and Italian cheese, and baked till golden brown. So there it is, bin 22. I really hope you enjoy this bin. If you do, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, give me a thumbs up, shoot me a like. Also, you can always join HauteMomsDinnerClub.com. It's only $14.99 for the whole year, and you get all these delicious recipes, grocery list downloads, and so much more. So, Haute Moms Dinner Club, thanks for joining me. Bin 22.